Detroit Lions are shaking the dome mantra. They're a dome team and need to play at home, and you know they're not gonna be good with playing on the road. They shaking that, and you gotta remember too, man. You gotta look at the transition that Dan Campbell made. You know, he made the transition from Sean Payton and New Orleans Saints. You know, and one thing I remember watching New Orleans Saints, I think they lost the NFC Championship game at Soldier Field one year. And they had to go to Soldier Field in the elements. And they just wasn't built to go outdoors in January in Soldier Field in Chicago. They weren't built for it. You know, Sean Payton said, you know what? We're going to go into the offseason and we're going to start building a team that's built to play anywhere. Anytime, any place, anywhere. And that's what they did. That's exactly what they did. They built a team that could literally go anywhere. They started to, you know, get guys like Pierre Thomas, you know, smash mouth football, get downhill, and they started to really, you know, play on the trenches on out. Before that, they was known as a team that, you know, it was a known team that just throw the ball around, and you got to understand, throwing the football, it could be stopped. Remember that fall game at Soldier Field they had? I mean, you had the slippery game you had yesterday. You know, the snow, how cold it is. So even with all the new glove technology and thermal technology, you know, the formula for football, it doesn't change. You know, running the football, stopping the run, getting after the passer, that's the recipe to be successful. You know, now the recipe for longevity is to have a franchise quarterback that you can count on. Let me kind of talk about that for just a small second, and maybe I'll turn this into a full video. Remember, it was that one writer we talked about, or that one writer or better on ESPN, I forget what it was, and he basically said that the Lions would take a step back this year because, you know, he didn't think Jared Goff was a quarterback that you build around with, that he wasn't a Mahomes or he wasn't on that type of level, and, you know, Goff proved him wrong. Goff proved him wrong. And one thing Jared Goff had to learn, that you hear this little bit of epidemic that we having with young quarterbacks. One thing Goff had to learn early on in his quarterback days is that he couldn't, you know, really much use his feet. And Aaron Rodgers learning that coming off the Achilles. You know, once you forced to use other parts of your body, you become stronger. You see people in wheelchairs and they upper body strong as hell. You know, they say once you lose one thing pick up. So, like I said before, Goff never was able to use his legs, so he has to continue to grow with his mind. You know what I'm saying? So, you kind of seeing Lamar kind of learn with his mind a little bit more. But they got the makeup to go outside. And it just kind of seemed with Stafford. With Stafford just wasn't really good going outside. I think he struggled with the gloves too, and them not being able to run the football. And, you know, they adopted a lot of the principles that the New Orleans Saints adopted when they transitioned from being a dome team into a any place, anytime, anywhere type of team. And that's what you like, that they brought over from that. And I think him and Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, their core values in football align. You know, guess what? We're going to be hard-nosed. We're going to run the football. And, you know, when Sean Payton told Dan Campbell, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to get you prepared to be a head coach. And Sean Payton did. He prepared him to be a head coach. You know, Dan Campbell had to cut the hair, which, you know, to me, I understand the aesthetics. That's one of the reasons why Rex Ryan brother, I forget the name of his brother. Brother talks some shit too. I like this brother. That, you know, that's why he didn't become a head coach, because he refused to cut his hair. You know, and, you know, Dan cut his hair, and, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, to me, the shit's silly. As long as you ain't got no tattoos or no crazy tattoos on your head or your face, I'm fine with it. You know, I'm fine with the locks. I'm fine with the longer hair, you know. But when you dealing with the old guard and you dealing with people in their 80s and 70s, 80s, and 90s, they don't understand. It's kind of like in my family, they still, on my dad's side, they still treat marijuana like it's crack. But that's how it was back in the day. You know, they like they smoking crack or something like that. I don't mess with marijuana. So there's too many hurdles as a black man in America, and it's too expensive to be out here having unnecessary vices. You know what I mean? But no, I digress. But yeah, that's one thing that they adopted and they transitioned. You know, making sure you can be a dome, make sure you can be in any place, anywhere type of team, and that's running the football. That's stopping the football. That's running the football against other teams' will. They know they got to stop you, but they can't stop you. And the three best teams of football, you know, or two of them, Baltimore and Detroit. That's the beauty of it. You know we running it, but you can't stop it. And you know what separates the Lions is their ability to be potent in the passing game too. So you got to respect all threats. St. Brown can go deep and beat you deep. Laporta can beat you everywhere. St. Brown can beat you everywhere. And why you take so many chances on Jameson Williams? Because guess what? You know, the maturation process and the maturity of the young man, but the young man is a football player before he's a track star. So he blocking downfield. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's catching the football. You know, he running routes in and out of breaks. So he's a true football player. So he can run anywhere on the field. He can behind the line of scrimmage. He working over the middle, intermediate, but he can catch the ball and go anywhere. So your top three receiving threats literally can score anywhere from on the field or any part of the field. So that make it a little bit harder to score. You got possession receivers. You got receivers who also can, you know, be explosive and take it to the house. You got red zone threats. I mean, you know, just the next part of that process for the Lions is the ability to really get Jahmyr Gibbs involved in the passing game. And I think that's one area where Bijan Robinson got him beat at is catching the ball out the backfield. But that's one of the things that they brought over from New Orleans, you know, was the identity of running a football. Yep, the identity of running a football. You know, tough, hard nosed, you know what I'm saying? So, but I like it. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Get all notifications. Increase the chance, get notifications. We go live and drop video. Financially, want to support the channel. Cash App, $CJ Good313. Venmo, CJ Good313. PayPal link in the description. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal.